Hi, my name is Susan Ritchie, and my presentation is on Edgar Allan Poe's story, The Telltale Heart, and the vitality of the symbolism behind the eye and the heartbeat that the narrator hears throughout the story. Now, The Telltale Heart is the story of a man who is plotting the murder of his own housemate. Critic Paul Wortherington notes that Poe's narrator tells a plain and simple story, which leaves no doubt that the narrator is mad. As Poe opens his story, the narrator himself questions, is he mad? Now, the two symbols that predominate the tale are the housemate's eye and the sound of a beating heart. The eye, the narrator mentions, is what he believes to be what made him decide that he had to kill his housemate. The heartbeat, however, is heard specifically at two important parts of the tale. First, as the narrator waits in his housemate's room to act on his plan, and second, when the police officers arrive and the narrator becomes suspicious that they know the crime he committed that night. The narrator describes the eye as being like that of the vulture, pale blue with a film covering over it. The narrator states that when the housemate looked at him with the eye, it made his blood run cold, and that is why he wants to be rid of the eye forever. One interpretation of the ugly eye and why he wants to be rid of said eye is that the narrator wants to be rid of how he is perceived by his housemate. Now, the heart and the sound of the heart beating can be interpreted either as the narrator's anxiety or as the sound of the narrator's own heart. The first time the narrator mentions the sound of the heart beating is when he starts to grow angrier and angrier at his sleeping housemate while he waits to strike. It is not until after he strikes and has murdered his housemate that the noise disappears. The noise doesn't return again until the police officers arrive at his house, and the narrator grows suspicious that the police officers know what has happened in that house that night and can hear the same noise that he hears. This time, the noise doesn't disappear until after the narrator confesses to the officers of the crime he committed that night. Without either of these symbols, much of the story of the Telltale Heart would be lost. Thank you.